Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Xuligans, Booligans, and those we dare not name. The excellent adventure continues, motherfuckers. I hope y'all are having a wonderful Halloween time-ish season. Tuesday is that day. Also, in case you didn't know, it's also Sadako Yamamura's birthday, so make sure to give her a shout out on the 31st. Not a whole lot going on. I did finish another book that I think you all should read, and I think I talked about it before. Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. I did get around to finishing that this week with the book club, and I fucking love it. Especially if you're into Alla Xul Elu. I mean, it's I think you'll dig it. I think Joe Black would dig it, honestly. When at camp, I'm gonna if I catch him, I'm just gonna be like, "Hey Joe, you ever read Camp Damascus? Get around to it." And that's it. Also sign my hand. But yeah, this week for y'all, we're going to be talking about Church of Xul. We have another EP here, more or less. It's an EP, it counts. This one's short enough. Unlike the next one, which I hear is also called an EP by Juggalos who are wrong, because Juggalos don't know what that word means. But yeah. No, this one is an EP. It's pretty short. It's in, it's out, and it is called Church of Xul. But before we get into that, I got a little. I gotta throw it to my homie in the field to give us a little Fago update. What's going on? Talk to us.
You know, as I sit here about to crack my Fago Rock and Rye, I like to think about all the past hijinks I got up to. Let's just take a moment and crack it and listen. You know, that really reminds me of the time that
Remember when you didn't go to camp, you fucking Zuffalo?
Or maybe the other time that this happened.
Wow, I sure can't wait for camp. Oh wait, I can't face Schmeev. Better sabotage my car.
But at the end of the day, does the one thing that unite us truly make us juggalos? Or is it just a really, really good beverage?
Wow, unbelievable! You know, it's indescribably beautiful. So yeah, with all that, the pretty short prelude, but we can roll right into Church of Xul. It's probably going to be a pretty short episode. You know, it's a short album, and we'll dive right in. Track 1, we get Welcome, which is a little intro thing of them walking through the woods searching for, well, it's not them per se, but it is 3 dudes played by them. They're walking through the woods looking for this mysterious thing where people supposedly died, which is always a great idea. You know, if people tend to turn up dead at this place, you should go there. That's real. That's what you do. And also, in this intro especially, I believe it's Lee Carver, because his voice is like that, who sounds like one of the eras of Jay. I can't name which one, but he's got that tone, especially whenever Jay is doing like a kind of one of his whinier voices. It just has that sound. But yeah, that runs us right into In the Church of Xul, which the very first verse of it gives me some vibes from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. There's a story called One Sunday Morning about a woman who goes to church one day. She thinks that she has gotten up late. She usually goes to the early service, but she's woken up by the church bells and believes that she is late, and when she gets there, she doesn't recognize anybody except the woman sitting next to her, who she realizes is someone who had died the week before, and that everyone at that service was dead except for her. And she's warned by her friend to leave before the right after the benediction. And as she's leaving, all of the dead in the pews are getting up and attacking her. and she makes it out. And yeah, it is cool. I like that. I like the vibe of that. Lee Carver mentions reciting Bible chapters backwards, hanging from the rafters, reciting Bible chapters backwards even. And I hope it's like really like the mundane historical chapters about like country affairs and stuff that he's talking about. Honestly, reciting Bible chapters backwards, if it like knowing as much as I do about the Bible, it just doesn't come off that spooky, you know. Backwards stuff is always kind of given that kind of credence, but I don't know, man. I don't know. The end of every single Always Sunny episode has a backwards thing, except for one season where it was trumpet playing. But anyway, that's the thing. Backwards stuff, people are always all on that backwards shit, and it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's gonna bring us to We Are One. Billy Obey, I believe, is the one who says live with a capital E, which is great, you know, because it's evil backwards. And when you put the capital there, it kind of emphasizes that it's meant to be read the other way, which is just sick. And the hook on this is really cool. The line, "Why you're here is no mystery," actually made a connection in my brain to something. So back in 2014, it was actually, I was a Kickstarter supporter of the game Undertale, and I was super hyped for it. And when it came out, I immediately blew through it. It was incredible. I loved it. But one of the things about it is that, so at the beginning, you're playing as this kid who fell down a hole in a mountain. And it's not an uncommon occurrence, but the thing that mountain is notable for is that a lot of people who tend to meet such a fate do it themselves. And it's kind of interpreted in that way. It's noted that like the first child who had fallen down there climbed up that mountain for that reason, to kill themselves. And it's never really said about your character why they do that. It's kind of like questioned, but there's never a straight answer that's given. But you know, with the history of it, it's kind of implied. So that line, "Why you're here is no mystery," is just very interesting, as like, you know, you're here listening to this and joining in this fellowship with this music for a reason. You were drawn to it for a specific reason, and we know what it is. You know, because they as they emphasize, it is for the outcasts and all that, the downtrodden. So I just think that's a really cool thing. Aside from that, the first lines of every verse have that continuity going through them, which I always fucking love. You get Lee Carver, who says, "The thought of murder is alluring to me." Then you get Joey Black doing, "The thought of living is appalling to me." And Billy Obey, "Sometimes the thought of dying is attractive to me." I think that's really cool. I love the way they did that. I love that they specifically picked that's an adjective starting with an A. I had to analyze that for a second. I was like, which word is that referring to? And it's referring to the thought, which is a noun in this case. How about that? That's a little English lesson for you, some grammar. But no, I like that. I love the way that that they do that. That's awesome. Joey Black, as usual, he's the man is in a constant struggle with his history of Catholicism, and that's actually a thing. So because I've talked about it so much, and like I've said, Joey Black, read Camp Damascus. I think you'll like it. One of the things that book talks about here and there with a person who kind of discovers that their faith is kind of doing some bad shit. Like, the church in general is doing some bad shit, and they're kind of disillusioned. And they're trying to find, like, they're finding that they never had a proper balance in their life with that. They were super faithful and all that stuff going into this, and then whenever that was broken by the events that happened to them, they find themselves swinging all the way back to the opposite end of that, and it's just cool. And people do what they do. People work out their stuff in their own fashion. You find your balance wherever you happen to balance. Sometimes that you balance yourself better on that other side. You got a good counterweight to you or something. The metaphor is running away from me, but that's where we're at. Oh man, that hook, in addition to just being good, spelling out believe, the rhythm on that is really good. I love that, especially the last one. It's just good. It's got a good feel to it. So moving on, we're going to go to Prie. This one they didn't add an extra E in there, which is something. But they did add an extra E, but it was because they're spelling the word pray in both ways. Pray as in the opposite of predator, and pray as in the thing you do. So it's different from like pre-etch and all of those other ones. But this one, just the automatic connection that I make in my mind is to the Judas Priest song "Let Us Pray," spelled Prey, classic. Has nothing really to do with it, but it's there. They may have taken some inspiration from that. I think they're down with Judas Priest. Everyone should be down with Judas Priest. They're great. Lee, talking about praying with other people's dismembered hands. Good times. I like the kind of theming of that, of like, well, if my prayers don't work normally, maybe it's the hands. That's fun. Joey taking on the part of a mad priest who is murdering whoever he sees as a non-believer. He sees them everywhere. Or whoever the quote-unquote the angels or God tell him to. Good times. And then you get Billy Obey, who's kind of, I'm not sure, I'm kind of reading it like an angel of death sort of thing. Like he sees himself as, he says straight up, purge the filth and cleanse the earth. Like he's got that kind of vibe to him, doing an angel of death thing, showing up and just taking people out for the glory of God and all that, I don't know, but this one's really cool. I like the way that they are doing a little bit of that classic Alla Xul Elu storytelling here, and that's cool. It's fun. I like it, and the hook is sick. It is really sick. I'm here for that. That's the good stuff. I don't know. It's just constructed very well. I love the yell of pray, and the way that it kind of contrasts the lines in between it. A single word yelled with a little bit of a hold on it, and then the short phrases in between there. That's cool. I'm here for that. It's just got a good little push pull to it. Feels good. It's excellent. Great song. Moving on to the Tome of the Black Tongue. This track actually kind of reminded me of a game that I just played recently. It's an old game from 94, 93, 94 called Veil of Darkness. It's an old DOS game, little adventure thing. You crash your plane, like your plane crashes, it just goes fucking wild on you because of a dude and like a evil vampire guy. So your plane crashes and people find you and take you back and nurse you back to health and all that stuff. And this whole town is in the clutches of an evil vampire guy, and nobody can leave. And it's kind of eternal night, I believe. And at one point you find a book in a cave that is like chained to its pedestal and all that, and it says that it's the reason why it was like the corrupting force on the vampire guy, which is odd, and also demands that you let it go to give you the power to beat the dude. And it works, as it turns out. Spoilers for Veil of Darkness, 1994. But you win if you do things right. The book possesses you technically whenever you talk to it, but you can take care of it with a little spell or whatever. So it's not. I don't know. It was a very strange thing. It is one of the many things you have to do to take down Vampire Guy. But that's all besides the point. I just want to talk about Veil of Darkness a little bit, you know? Just want to talk about Veil of Darkness. It's also about it's got an evil book in it, just like this does. They're talking about an evil book that imparts great powers, but ultimately uses the Finder as an avatar to meet its own ends, you know? Joe Black talks about how it promises knowledge and power, and, you know, you can do basically anything. But, you know, ultimately it's will be done, I suppose. You can't fight that. And likewise, it kind of gives me vibes of some classic D&D stuff. Vecna, one of the evil gods who just kind of leaves various body parts lying around across the land for people to find, and they can replace their parts with them, and they will, you know, do great things for them, but also they have their own kind of will that they're going for, and if you don't appease them by completing whatever tasks they wish to do, they'll turn on you. And ultimately, at the end of the day, Taxman comes to collect his hand or eye or whatever, and you lose anyway. But yeah, this one was cool. Another very interesting, it's just an interesting concept for a thing. This is actually giving me, you know, let me connect this to another more related thing to the show overall. This is actually giving me vibes of like when we listened to the Opaque Brotherhood, and I was like, they're coming up with ideas in this, you know? And not that Alla Xul Elu hasn't come up with ideas before, but this one, I feel like they have more like specific, unique concepts that I'm enjoying here. And this song in particular is just a major one. I'm just finding a lot of cool stuff that I can connect with, and I like that. Yeah, this track is awesome. It's really cool. I love the concept of it, and just the way they do it. It's got a lot of verses to it. Like they're kind of doing, you know, 2 verses at a time in between all of the hooks and all that stuff, which is it's a pretty cool split. And I just like it. I like it a lot. Feels good. That's gonna bring us on to the penultimate track, The Goddamned, which in my music thing came up as the Goo Damned, and I'm not sure why. It may have been, I can't remember if this album was one that had the music, like the titles already, on it whenever I threw it in, or if I had to do it and I may have mistyped it and left it because it was funny, or because I didn't notice because, O and D, they got similar stuff going on. Honestly, the back of the album, I went to check just to see if it was like misspelled there, and I did it as a goof to keep it, but no. I think it's spelled right. It's hard to tell because the O and the capital O and D in that font does look very close. But no, I'm pretty sure it's correct. But you know what? I did notice. Here's the thing. So there were some contributors to this on Genius. You get some mushy mustard. Actually, did Mushy Mustard? Yeah, Mushy Mustard did a little classic Mushy Mustard. But we also get some Twiztid history, our good homie Robbie, neither of which noticed that on this little bridge section where it's like a guy talking, they have the sentence typed here in Genius, there's such a reason you don't have to do this, no, and not listen to reason you don't have to do this. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Jesus Christ. And I'm not gonna fix it. Yeah. This one, it's kind of just an edgy blasphemy track thing, they're just saying stuff that's, blasphemous, and it just being a little over the top and all that stuff, and it's fine. It's not one that I'm like, I don't have a lot to say about it because it is just that, but it's not like bad or anything like that. I do like the one annotated line on Genius, now a human sacrifice part of the rider. That's good. I love that, the idea that part of their contract for performing is that they have somebody to sacrifice. That's good times. And I mean, they do they do that in their shows. They do have they have a lot of stuff going on in their shows, to be honest. But that is one of the things that they do as part of their stage show, is like a little sacrifice thing, which is awesome. And Joey B, as usual, the guy that I just need to talk about a lot because he's just the guy. He's just that dude, He's on some notice me senpai shit on his verse. Like he's talking about all of these, all of the blasphemous things that he did, and hoping that it would draw the attention, presumably. Maybe the devil in this case. It's hard to see. It seems like it could go either way. That because on one hand, like he says, just another Satan created by God's hands. In other words, because he, created by God in the first place, but also kind of seems like because prayers were not answered and such, or because he wasn't able to find favor. He was, he became who he is now. So I don't know if that line where he says, hung myself with a rosary and I hoped that he would notice me, is referring to God or the devil. Because a couple lines before that he says, pluck a tongue off the pile, offer it to Belial. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? It could be either one. I'm choosing to believe that he's trying to get God to notice him by doing increasingly over-the-top blasphemous stuff in like a kid's cartoon way of trying to get a girl in school to notice you. Catholicism did some stuff to him, is what I'm saying. But yeah, no, this track was all right. It wasn't one of my favorites. I think the hook with the sample that they used is it's fine. It's there, But then that's going to bring us to the final track, Xuligans. And right off the bat, within the first couple lines of Lee Carver's verse, shots fired at Mushy Mustard. I don't know what beef they got, but maybe someday, if Mustard makes it to camp, there'll be they can hash things out, see how it goes. I love the horns in the production on this track. Like, in general, the beat is cool as hell. The beats on, again, I say it every episode. Holy shit, their beats are good. But I do really love this one in particular. And it's just a fun track about camaraderie, you know? It's just about how you got the homies. They do say, all I know is that friends, they come and go. And then they talk about, the Xuligans, on the other hand. They're together forever. It's getting a little bit into that zone that I don't care as much for. The kind of like the semi-culty zone of like elevating that above, the friendship that you have, which I just don't do. That ain't me. I'm gonna tell you, I would not. I would go to my friends 1,000 times out of 10 over a random Xuligan at a show. No offense to the Xuligans, but I don't fucking know you guys. But yeah, they're saying, you got homies, and you got the music, which is there for you, along with the homies that you meet through the music. It's good stuff. I like the vibe of it. It's a fun party track. I feel like this one's an obvious just set list inclusion anytime. Good closer if you got to do that. I feel like closer. I feel like it would be a closer. I think it was a closer. I don't remember the precise set list from camp. I do remember that they did this though. And then that's it. Or is it? You get a little bit of silence, and then you get another beat drop, which I appreciate that they put a beat over all of this because it goes for a while. And I feel like if it was just phone calls, it wouldn't. I don't know. It would be whatever. But nice little beat drop and a bunch of phone calls into a hotline. Also, I forgot there's a little ad there beforehand about joining the Church of Xul. They have very good like corporate just the corporate music thing. Like, it's contemporary corporation music that you'd hear for like an ad or whatever, or honestly like a contemporary Christian ad or something. But talking about the Church of Xul and all that stuff, and then they drop a number, and then you get a bunch of phone messages from people. I presume that they put out a hotline number at some point. Maybe it was in another album that I've already listened to and I've forgotten about it. But yeah, it's just people dropping short messages and stuff, and they range from people doing goofy little bits to just like a simple shout out to people who probably thought the game Hatred was really profound. Yeah. Some of them are fun. Some of them are just there. It's cool. It's nice to. It's honestly one of those things where like I was listening to it and I was like, okay, so Alla Xul Elu, they obviously are building up a pretty big fan base, but they are still not like a big thing. But at the same time, whenever you listen to this many calls and stuff, it gives you the impression that they're like just fucking huge, right? You'd imagine if you were to go to camp that it would just be packed with just like thousands of people. But it's still a pretty small event and all that stuff. But it's just an interesting perspective thing. There's one guy who says that he is calling from a penitentiary because he took one of their lines seriously and tried to blame the music when he went back and shot up his old job, and it did not work. And then you also have early on, someone drops a motherfucker, right? Just a full earnest motherfucker. Later on, there's a couple other motherfuckers in here, but there's one way near the end who really cocks back for it and sounds like he's gonna do it, and then just bails on it and gets like, just a straight up motherfucker or something. It was interesting. It sounded like somebody who was just like internally fighting. Like as they were in the middle of saying it, they were loading it up, and then they were like, shit, this isn't ICP. I can't do that. No, I have to do something else. And it was pretty amusing to me. So yeah, that's Church of Xul, baby. I don't know. That's all there is to it. I really like this one. It's a good quick listen. I would even put I was saying before how Head of Horns is a good intro for people. Fuck it. This is a good intro too. I like this. This one would be good. This is a really good introduction. If you want to get somebody into it, you don't know what to make them listen to this one, because it's a nice short thing you can get right into. Yeah. No, I enjoyed this a lot. I liked a lot of the concepts they were going with in these songs. I know I didn't talk about like individual lyrics as much on this. I just didn't honestly have as much that I was like picking out in terms of specific lines, so much as I was picking out just the ideas overall that they were going for, and I liked that. I liked the overall vibes that they had on this a lot. This one's really good. I would, like I said, I would put this up there with Head of Horns as a good introduction to the group. I think Lee Carver is slotting in there pretty nicely. He's getting a little bit more substantial as time goes on here and there, which I appreciate, because there was kind of an imbalance where it's like I said originally, with just Joey and Billy. You get Joey with his very heavy substance-laced verses, and Billy Obey dropping the vibes for his stuff. And Lee Carver, he wasn't really splitting the difference per se. He was definitely more on the Billy Obey side, and it was kind of just like unbalancing it, and having things to talk about in that way is hard for verses whenever it's like, two verses are just kind of giving you vibes, and the other one is possibly about something like a direct kind of storytelling thing, or just like a, you know what I mean. I think you guys get it. But no, I did really enjoy this, and I would like to know what you think about this, Tell me what your favorite tracks are. What track would you drop from this? I'm not telling you which ones I would, because I didn't prep that, because you know by now how this works, unless you skipped to this one because Church of Xul is your favorite AXE album. Interesting. It's a good one, but I don't know. It's just interesting to me. Tell me what you think. Tell me, is anybody listening right now? Are you one of the people who called at the end of Xuligans? Did you provide your voice to that track? I'm interested to see if you're listening. Say howdy and all that stuff. Other than that, I don't have much more to say. No, I don't. That's all. You know where to find us. Juggalo Judgment on all of the things, juggalojudgment@gmail.com if you want to send an email, Juggalo Judgment on Facebook, Juggalo Judgment on Twitter, at Juggalo Judgment on Instagram, and of course the UPC Discord. You gotta hit up the UPC Discord if you really want to like contact us and stuff. I don't open my fucking Twitter app anymore, like except on very rare occasions, like mostly just to post an episode or something. But yeah, I do keep up with like seeing how the Instagram posts are doing and all that stuff, even though I make Mike post them because I just don't interface with Instagram very much. Yeah, just hit us up, talk to us about the stuff, have a little chat. I'll talk about things sometimes, and if you hit us up on the Discord, you could talk to so many people who have these interests. The fucking Discord is loaded with LLE people now. There's just a lot of people into this whole Lali thing, and if you're into that, maybe that's a place for you to drop in. Or if you're more into, the more typical Juggalo stuff, drop in there and try and swing the balance back, so Eric will return to us because I miss him, and he's just not an LLE guy. What are you going to do, So, yeah, with all of that, I think we've completed the episode to my satisfaction, So I hope y'all have a great day or whatever time it is for you. And a wonderful, spooky, happy Halloween.